Hi there, it's Aiden. I'm the founder and CEO of Mind Medication. I'm also the author of the book of Mind Training, The Secret for Positive Living. So today I was thinking about letting go and what that means, whether that's in relationships, business, goals, dreams, desires. What does the act of letting go actually do for you, for your leadership, for your well-being? And it got me down the path of actually just really understanding why letting go is hard. So we're going to look at why letting go is tough. And the very first thing that came to mind is that when we have to let go of something that we've been attached to, that we find very dear to our heart, maybe that's a new business that we've been cultivating, or a romantic relationship, or a friendship that has run its course, letting go becomes challenging because that requires courage. It requires the act of being willing to take risk, the risk of the unknown, because as you let go, there's an unforeseeable outcome awaiting. And because of that lack of certainty, which as humans we crave, the act of letting go becomes a challenge. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, I think in the last couple of years, building my business, my medication hasn't been the easiest. And I must admit, there's been times where I did contemplate just letting it go and what that looked like. And obviously I didn't, but there has come times where I thought about it. And one of the reasons that I think I didn't is because I remembered why I was doing it. So it wasn't that I needed to necessarily let go of my business. I needed to let go of this vision I had created for the business and sort of surrender that to the unknown and let it come naturally, let it form organically. And in terms of relationships, I've realized that as an entrepreneur, it's a lonely path. And I mean, as someone who tends to be an introvert, I'm comfortable with times of being in silence and whatnot, but that doesn't necessarily mean I want to be alone. And so I do have some friends and whatnot, but I've realized that some friends, they run the course, meaning that what the season that we had was good, but in this point in my life, where I am going, whether that's with my vision of the business or just my self-development, they are no longer helpful. And so it has been interesting letting go because that required that certainty that I once had to be shredded. And also fear of change, so that overcoming that fear of change. So what would this friendship look like if it no longer exists? Or what does this relationship look like if it no longer exists? And what does my business look like if I'm not in it day in, day out? And so that resistance to change has to change in order for letting go to evolve. And so another reason, aside from that need for certainty and fear of change that we struggle with letting go, is also due to some degree of self-esteem. Now, I'm not saying that letting go only happens to people with low self-esteem, but there is a correlation that if you have a low self-regard for yourself, then letting go becomes harder, because then that was the picture you'd envisioned. And so to let go now means that you don't even know who you are. So who are you outside of your business? Who are you outside of this relationship? And who are you outside of these friendships you've cultivated? And if you don't know that, that means there's a lack in how you perceive yourself. Because in order to let go, one needs to be confident that in letting go, that you are still true to yourself and that you will wither whatever the storms may lie, because you know who you are. And so letting go doesn't have to be something that is tumultuous. It can be done well as long as the communication is done right. And so that goes back to like the art of communication, the tone and manner in which you deliver that news to the individual, or even to yourself, being honest with yourself and saying, hey, I need to let go of whatever that is for you, because it is no longer bringing me satisfaction, fulfillment, Whatever that is lacking means let go. But also the benefits that come with letting go is really that ability to trade expectations for appreciation and that cultivation of gratitude. Because the reality is, the minute we let go of that expectation, what comes is really that appreciation. Look where I'm at now, that I no longer need to hold on to this belief system, this limiting belief, this value that I've ascribed to. Once you and I let that go, there's a seed of appreciation that gets sown in and that grows through gratitude and that self-awareness of, this is who I am now that I've let go, and I am proud of myself. And so over time, you build this like attitude of gratitude. And then also, it's really about cultivating this resilience, this inner strength, that you had the courage to face your fear of loss or the unknown and still go forward. And so by letting go, what you're actually doing is building resilience, a resilience mindset, a resilient leadership style, a resilient you. And so I really encourage you that if you're in a space in your life, whether that's a relationship you're considering of letting go or a business venture that is just really not serving you, let go. See what happens when you let go. I love to chat some more, so feel free to send in your comments and don't forget to subscribe. Mwah.